Years is a long time.
It is, yeah.
Especially to condense into a 3 CD compilation.
Yeah.
How did you go about selecting the tracks?
It started with a wish list of, I don't know, 150. And then, of course, something new comes out and you think, oh, can we have that on? And can we have that on? And there comes a point where there has to be a cut-off point where everyone go, no, that's it. Don't add any more. But then it gets really complicated because not everything can get licensed and cleared, or it's some in different territories. It's got very massively complicated, actually. But I was very surprised by the number of yeses. So, for example, the Rolling Stones, as far as I know, have never been on a compilation before. And Paul McCartney saying yes to Maybe I'm Amazed, which I think is one of the best songs he's ever written. So they grew, Joy Division saying yes, Scott Walker. I would, so I had this wish list. I didn't really know who would agree and who wouldn't. It's been a joy to do, I must say.
Now, you were the first female DJ on Radio 1 and probably inspired a lot of other women to follow in your footsteps. Was there anybody, when you started, who inspired you?
Well, because there weren't any women before me, which is something I couldn't understand why they weren't and why they didn't have any women. So I had to go and do a bit of knocking the door down a bit to make that happen, because it seemed ridiculous. But the strange thing is that having that happen, I thought there'd be like loads of women would come rushing in after me. It was actually 12 years before Janice Long came along. So I just began to think, maybe nobody else wants to do this. But then after that, it's a very different story. So now there's lots, and I'm very proud of that fact. That there's many more, especially Radio 1 and 1X have been very good about. I don't mean that in a patronising way, but I mean quite rightly. So there's a lot more female DJs now than there ever were before on Radio 1 and 1X. Yeah.
What have been the biggest changes that you've seen in your career?
I guess the internet's changed everything for everybody. It's not been good for record shops, because record shops to me were a mecca of where you'd go and hang out. When I lived in Brighton, you'd find out where all the raves were happening on the Saturday night. And I used to go to a shop in Paris as well and buy a lot of stuff from the 90s onwards, of Daft Punk time onwards, when the whole French dance music explosion happened. And there was a shop in Paris I used to go to a lot. And obviously the record shops have suffered very much from online and Spotify and stuff like that. And I love the community of a record shop. I love browsing and obviously want to buy everything. And there's one called Amoeba in Hollywood, which is amazing. So I have great, fondness for record shops. So I'm glad they are still here with us. And with this revival of vinyl, it's good. It's a good feeling that people still want to buy, because I think people like the sleeve art as well. Yeah. See, an MP3. How can you give someone an MP3 for a birthday present?
So, of all the guests, artists, people who you've interviewed over the years, are there any ones that stand out? Have you got any particular favourites?
Yeah, John Lydon.
Why was that?
Well, because he's so provocative. And when he was in Public Image Limited, he was on the Old Grey Whistle Testimony. He was the host of it, and after the show, the live performance, which has been really excellent, and I said to him, that's the best live performance since I've been on this show. And he said, don't be so fucking patronising. So I went, I know, I really mean it, and it took me half an hour to convince him that I was meaning, sincerely, and I wasn't being patronising. After that, he was great and he bought all the drinks all night. So then I said, will you come on my Radio 1 show? And he went, they won't let me go and do it live. And I went, I'm sure they will. And he was right. We had to record it. They wouldn't let him on live. I mean, a bit different now, possibly. So he was obviously, he was a highlight.
As someone who champions new music and continually seeks new music, do you find it odd that other people, other DJs don't?
I think all DJs do. Isn't that what we thought? I mean, I guess if you're on a station that plays, older music, then you wouldn't be seeking out new music. But all the people I work with, it's all about new music, and that's what you're listening for, something you haven't heard before, something original, something new. It's like, it's the soundtrack to our lives. You want to hear those changes, and it's a bit like what, we're putting a radio show together, and although most of the stuff I've done on Radio 1 is all very, very new, but you basically want to take people to somewhere that they haven't been before. And so with the CD3, there are some names like Shamir and new names on the third one, because that's it's very much what I'm about. It's not all, as I say, certainly not greatest hits.
Dance, 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 dance.